Welcome back to Car Scope, the channel where we dive deep into the machines that define driving passion. Today, we finally get our hands on the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3, a car that's not just an evolution of an icon but a reminder that pure engineering still has a heartbeat. As the camera circles the car, the narration continues, explaining how Porsche has once again managed to modernize the GT3 without sacrificing the rawness that fans love. The new model looks sharper, cleaner, and somehow even more athletic than the previous generation. The front fascia is the first thing that grabs your attention, with its redesigned bumper that channels air like a sculpted piece of engineering artwork. The large center intake isn't just for show, it feeds air straight to the radiators and helps cool the high-revving flat six waiting behind the driver. The LED matrix headlights retain Porsche's signature four-point look, but on the 2026 model they're slimmer, brighter, and shaped with the subtle aggression that fits the GT3's personality. The hood, lightweight and slightly recontoured, now features more pronounced channels that guide air over the roof line. Moving along the side, the video highlights one of the most aerodynamic and visually striking profiles in the sports car world. The extended side skirts help with downforce while also visually lowering the car, making it appear glued to the road even at a standstill. Porsche didn't change the silhouette dramatically because they didn't need to. Instead, they refined and sharpened it. Air breathers behind the front wheels reduce turbulence, and the doors, now made from a blend of aluminum and carbon composite materials, help shave weight while increasing rigidity. The wheels set 20-inch front and 21-inch rear fill the arches perfectly, wrapped in ultra-high-performance rubber that seems almost too thin for street use. As the narrator notes each detail, the camera zooms into the carbon ceramic brakes, massive yellow-tinted calipers gripping rotors that look like they belong on a race car. The saddle vents, the sculpted lower-bodied line, and the new gloss black mirror caps help give the 2026 GT3 a bolder, track-bred stance. As the camera transitions to the rear, the familiar yet always evolving 911 shape widens into one of the most dramatic angles of the GT3. The massive fixed rear wing, redesigned with a swan neck support structure, is even more aerodynamic and produces more downforce than before, but Porsche insists that the new airflow design also reduces drag slightly at high speeds. Beneath it, the taillight bar stretches across the width of the rear, giving off an unmistakable red glow even from a distance. Wide fenders house the broader track that improves stability, and the dual central exhaust tips large, round, and unapologetic announce the soundtrack that makes GT3 ownership an emotional experience. The diffuser, carved from carbon fiber, isn't just cosmetic, it channels air cleanly from beneath the car, reducing lift and helping the GT3 feel planted during aggressive cornering. The narrator then opens the door and we move into the cabin. Porsche has always walked the line between race-focused minimalism and everyday usability, and the 2026 GT3 perfects that balance. The moment you sit in the driver's seat, the interior surrounds you with a blend of Alcantara, exposed carbon fiber, and precision machined metals. The steering wheel, wrapped in suede, features subtle contrast stitching and a center marker and automotive sport heritage. There's no unnecessary clutter, just tactile controls placed exactly where a performance driver wants them. The latest version of Porsche's infotainment system sits in the center, fast, clean, and refined, but deliberately understated. The narrator points out that while it can handle navigation, Bluetooth, and wireless Apple CarPlay, the system remains secondary to the car's purpose, driving. The instrument cluster mixes modern digital displays with the traditional analog center tachometer, something Porsche knows GT3 purists insist on keeping. It trembles to over 9,000 revolutions per minute, and even at idle the needle trembles slightly, as if impatient for you to get moving. The seats are the lightweight carbon buckets, an option in some markets, but these ones cradle the driver like a race harness. They're rigid but surprisingly comfortable, designed for spirited canyon runs or all-day track sessions. The rear seats, of course, remain absent. Weight savings matter, and Porsche continues to ensure the GT3 stays as lean as possible. The materials feel expensive, but not flashy. Even the climate vents are sculpted with a sense of purpose. The narrator notes how Porsche integrates small details like GT3 branded door sills, a revised center console layout, and a new sound deadening option for those who prioritize comfort on long drives. Now the video transitions into motion, and the real magic begins. The 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 still uses a naturally aspirated 4.0-liter flat-six engine, an increasingly rare mechanical masterpiece in a world of turbocharging and electrification. Porsche refined the internal slider pistons, improved throttle response, revised camshafts, and a freer-flowing exhaust system. The engine now makes more horsepower than before, revs harder, and delivers a sharper punch across the entire power band. As the narrator describes the sensation, The camera captures the tachometer climbing toward that 9,000 revolution per minute redline, the engine howling in a way that only a GT3 can. The throttle response is instantaneous. Each press of the pedal feels like a direct mechanical link between your foot and the power plant behind you. The transmission choices remain a key part of the GT3's identity. Enthusiasts will be thrilled to know the 6-speed manual continues to be offered, providing one of the most engaging shifting experiences on the planet. For those who prioritize lap times, the 7-speed PTK dual-clutch transmission delivers lightning-fast shifts and near-perfect consistency. The suspension, enhanced with new adaptive dampers, stiffened bushings, and improved rear-wheel steering, allows the car to corner with a level of precision few road cars can match. The narrator explains how the GT3 communicates everything of the road texture, the weight transfer, the grip all through the steering wheel and chassis. This is a car that encourages drivers to push harder, rewarding skill with confidence rather than punishing mistakes. The camera then switches to long, sweeping shots of the car carving through mountain roads, the exhaust crackling on downshifts, the tires gripping the pavement with an almost unnatural level of poise. Even at high speeds, the GT3 remains stable, poised, and controllable. The sound inside the cabin is a mix of induction roar and mechanical symphony. The narrator continues describing how each corner feels, how the rear engine balance gives the GT3 its iconic handling characteristics, and how the aerodynamics help keep the car glued to the pavement. This is a machine built for enthusiasts and drivers who appreciate precision and engineering above all else. After the driving impressions, the script transitions to the discussion of pricing. The narrator explains that the 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 starts at a premium but expected price range puts it at a level consistent with previous models, high enough to demand commitment, but low enough at least for its segment to make it one of the best performance-to-value ratios in the sports car world. Of course, once you start adding Porsche's famously lengthy options list of carbon ceramic brakes, exclusive paint colors, interior upgrades, and track-focused packages, the final price can climb significantly. But for buyers, it's rarely about the cost, it's about owning one of the most capable, emotionally engaging sports cars ever built. The outro begins as the camera returns to the car park overlooking the sweeping landscape. The GT3 sits there cooling down, metal ticking softly as the sun dips lower behind it. The narrator sums up the experience. The 2026 Porsche 911 GT3 isn't just a new model, it's a statement. It proves that even in a world where performance cars are increasingly electrified, digital, and sanitized, Porsche still believes in the purity of connection between driver and machine. It's raw, refined, composed, loud, balanced, aggressive, and elegant all at the same time. The script ends by thanking viewers for joining CarScope on another deep dive into an automotive icon, inviting them to like, subscribe, and share before the screen fades to black with one last shot of the GT3 roaring off into the distance.